Hello, my name is Verena Altenberger, and first of all, I'm sending you a very warm hi and nice to see you from Warsaw, where I'm shooting a movie right now. Um, okay, so you might have to cut this video because I'm not 100% sure what to talk about, but I will try to find my words. First of all, it's such an overwhelming feeling that, like, we shot this movie. And this movie, First Snow of Summer, or Sterne unter der Stadt, what we call it in Austria, it means the world to me. I love everyone involved. I love the script so much, and it means so much to my heart. So we shot this. You know, you do a movie as an actress, then you let go, and then you don't hear from these people again, and you're like, will this movie ever be finished or whatever? And then, like, months later, maybe a year and a half later, you hear back and it's like, hey, we're having a world premiere in Sweden. And then you're like, oh my God, this is happening. They're showing the movie. It's premiering. And then there's the cinematic release. And then you're like shooting your next project or the next project in Warsaw. And someone's calling and saying, hey, Sterne unter der Stadt will be shown in Romania. And it's just like, I'm so happy about this. And it makes me so proud. And I want to tell you, like, some reasons why I'm so super happy and so proud of this movie. Like, okay, I already said, I love everyone that is involved in this project so much. Chris Reiber, our director, who also wrote the script, like, for, I think, 7 or 9 years. Very long writing process for him. It's just, I don't know, how can a person be so romantic and tell stories in that way? It's just so beautiful. And when I, like, okay, so here is a part, I don't know, maybe it's too negative-ish in a way, maybe you have to cut it out, but I'm gonna tell you. So, I lost my mom to cancer. I lost my mom to breast cancer. And as an actress, I deeply believe that the stories we tell the best is stories that are very close to us. So when it comes to the fear of losing someone, or the fear of losing something very important in your life, I know what I'm talking about. And also when it comes to the topic, even though we never call it exactly this illness in the movie, but even when it comes to cancer, I know what I'm talking about. So in a way, I was waiting for a script that deals with this topic in a good way, in a funny, in a loving way. And there comes First Snow of Summer by Chris Reiber, and I read the script and I really 100% know I want to do this movie. And I go to the audition and I get the role. Well, and then there comes the movie, and then there is Thomas Brenn, my colleague, and I get to know him, and we do this shooting together, and everything just feels really beautiful and tough and exhausting and sometimes overwhelming. And it's also like having a lot of fun and having a lot of hope in the future and everything. And then, besides the topic of, I call it cancer, or the topic of illness, or the topic of death, then there is this topic that, in a way, might be even bigger than death, and it's love. And I thought about love a lot, and I think I really love being in love. Like, maybe being in love is my biggest love of my life. So I'm dying to tell this story about a woman who is afraid of falling in love. And I can 100% understand Caro, because falling in love is the fucking scariest thing you could do. maybe besides dying, but maybe even not. It's huge topics. Love, death, and okay, but now I'm talking about love. So she's so fucking scared of falling in love. And I totally get this. Because when you fall in love, you risk giving everything and losing everything and receiving everything. When you fall in love, you risk changing your life for the worse or for the best way possible. And that's fucking scary. Falling in love is always a life-changing decision. And yeah, like, I love falling in love. So I loved making a movie about having huge anxiety about falling in love, but daring to do it. Because I truly believe from the bottom of my heart that falling in love is the best you can do. And okay, so now I talked about my mom, death, cancer, love, falling in love, my fear of falling in love. How can I get even more personal? No, I'm joking. So, okay, I'm an actress. I love my job so much. It gives me so much joy. It gives me so much passion. I get to know all these beautiful people, all these beautiful places. I get to learn so much about different topics. I want to tell stories that emotionalize people, that might sometimes even change people's lives. Like, I watched movies that changed my life. And so I would say I have like really two big loves in my life, and it's cinema and it's falling in love. So if you want to do me a favor, or if you want to listen and trust my wisdom, do two things. Go to the cinema and watch great movies. But most of all, give love a chance. Try falling in love. Try it. Do it. Risk it. Or, as we say, give love a shot. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching our movie. I really, really hope you enjoy it and that you go home and you're happy and dreamful and full of ideas and fantasy and romance and love, and that you're fearless. And I wish you a wonderful day or night, whatever time it is now. And I'm saying goodbye from Warsaw, and thank you and goodbye.